Alright, welcome back. Episode 2 of The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Let's keep it rolling. Gloria's Rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day she grows heavier and her features grow rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey, Angelo, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stephen? Yes, I do. Our judge is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great. Says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. Wow, big brain there, Gloria. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there. But then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry. The moment she sees it, she looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? That is poetry, madam. It is art, if you will. We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. Ooh. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not my little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. He's not a little brother anymore. And I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Okay, a little backstory there. The former father kicked them out, I guess. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into her house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. Oh, so we have our first locked events. So we won't be picking complain about your sister or comfort your sister. We can either leave the room or offer to write rhymes with her. I gotta say, that kind of sucks. I kind of feel bad for Gloria. When nobody can hear you, you offer to write poems with Gloria. Mother leaves the last of your sister's poetry. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You hug your sister and whisper to her. Let's go to the library, you say. The two of you can hide under the table and write something together. Gloria shakes her head violently. Mother said no, and there is no way she would ever defy her. You reassure her that it will be your secret. You pull Gloria to the library. She fights you, but you refuse to relent. You carefully peek inside. Your sister takes a small book from one of the shelves, and you read it together under the table. It's a book of poetry about eternal love. Gloria clearly adores it. Really, how old is she? You decide to write a poem of your own. She recites a line in an ecstatic voice, and you repeat it after her and offer a rhyme of your own. She nods happily. You do this until the day ends. You have written a poem of your own and learned it by heart, but not a single line of it has been committed to paper, which means you have stayed true to your mother's rule. Ah. Got the big brain. Big brain, Brante. Year 4 of childhood. Year 1122. Winter. The coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stephen and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear. Simple economics, really. I didn't give birth to Stephen, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stephen and Gloria in the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave. But then she relents. You are told to sit still and be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First to the elder on the right, and then to the younger on the left. Stephen, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the path paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. The sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stephen, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Boy, they really like whipping people here. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. Who would? There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them and when they finally come back, the back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Oh. Stephen is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Okay, I can use the arrow keys to change the pages. Oh, look at that. Stephen dislikes me a little bit now. He's still +1 though. And our family has lost a little unity. Brothers and Sisters Sacrament. Your siblings Stephen and Gloria took their first sacrament at the temple. Okay. The baby noises are back. Alright, the newborn's cry. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind you, many layers of swaddling clothes, is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stephen and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no. The two of you will play together, and tease Stephen together, and help Mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends days and nights by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance. She forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her her knitting. But instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Angelo, you're bothering me. I'm just trying to help, lady. Come on. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. That's pretty normal. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. Oh my. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from her never-ending screams. From his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Okay. Mother, call for help, redirect her anger to yourself, or we have an option, hug Mother. Because she's grateful to us. Ah, well there you have it. So, because we picked that option before, this has unlocked this choice. I think I'll take this choice. You run up to Mother to calm her down. You walk up to Mother quickly and lock her tightly in your embrace. Your arms are too short and the folds of her dress get in the way, but that does not stop you. She shudders at your unexpected touch and tries to free herself. Let me go. Stop tormenting me. But you only latch onto her even tighter. There's no way you're letting her go now. Not even if she screams at you or hits you. No way. You are here now. You will protect her and comfort her. Right. Nathan stops screaming, and an odd sobbing sound escapes his little baby mouth, as if he is too tired to scream. Mother accepts your sudden presence now. You feel her relax, and her movements become calmer. But there is still no way you're letting go. Not yet. Then you hear a quiet song, your mother's song. She is singing a lullaby to Nathan. He squeaks a little, then starts snoring quietly. Then you calm down as well. Mother is now calmer in your embrace. Nathan is breathing quietly in his sleep. Now please let me go, my dear. I have to put Nathan to bed. You release Mother, and she puts Nathan back in the crib. After a little pause, she turns to you. Her face is still weary, but there is no sign of anger. She sits down next to you. Thank you, my son. The twins know I didn't want to hurt you or Nathan. I am so sorry. Please don't be angry with me. You did what you needed to. You gave me the strength to work through this. I don't know about that, Mom. I think some better choices could have been made there. She hugs you tightly. You do the same and press your forehead against her. She smells like home. She still smells like home. Your tears finally start to flow, but they are tears of happiness now. She pats you on the head and kisses your forehead. Nathan is sleeping quietly in his crib. It feels so good that things are as they should be. Alright, note to self. Definitely bring the water. Alright. Nathan has been born. $11.23. The ant farm. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Conditions met. Perception greater than or equal to 4. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of the family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to Mother's room and sit at the foot of the bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door of your room opens and she brings in a large box covered with a piece of cloth. It is rare for you to see her so overjoyed. She sets the box on the floor and removes the cloth. The box under the cloth is made of glass and has a wooden base. Inside, you see a layer of earth shaped into a carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Angelo, this is my gift to you, an ant farm. It's a little world in a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She's the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. There turns out to be a method to the ants' chaotic movement. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them have larger mandibles. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood on from your finger. Others work all around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing any debris from the passages. There are also workers who collect food you put in a special tray. Leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. I struggled with that. Page? Reading-wise? You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the stray ant and puts it back where it belongs. Oh, how do you know where it belongs? Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they weren't born to do. Each of them was born for their own job. How would you know? You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Or maybe Mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. So I can keep playing with Mother, or play by yourself. I think it'd be pretty good to get some more willpower and get a high relationship with Mom. So let's keep playing with Mom. You offer to go outside together and find some bugs to feed the ants. Mother's look is full of warmth and love. Nathan, Gloria, and Father are away right now. For the first time in a long while, it is just the two of you, and Mother takes great joy in watching over the ant farm. She shares her knowledge of the world with you. The things she tells you are true. You move closer to her and suggest going outside and finding some bugs for the ants. She agrees to this happily and holds your hand as you leave the house. Soon you are busy catching bugs and sharing your thoughts on how the ants will feed the colony with them. From time to time you laugh together, making up stories about errant flies and caterpillars overthrowing the ant kingdom. You and Mother hold hands as you return to the room. She can't help but smile. It is a faint smile, a child's smile, a smile full of sunlight. You are so happy to have seen the world through her eyes today. Right. I've read that already. Do not read it again. Toy soldiers. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Angelo, today is your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to the house to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. Yes, I think I would like that, please. I'm tired of getting whipped. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stephen wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets. A pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Enizote. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of the gods' own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. I'm kind of wondering if there's a way to, like... I know there's a map. Just vibe to the music while I explore all this. Click. Nothing going on here. I see the heir is Stephen. I suppose it's to be expected. Don't know him, haven't met him yet. Settings, nothing going on here. Alright, I know there's a map, but let's keep going. Have you chosen any presents yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take the warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. I get the feeling we've seen this theme before. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me, he hit me. A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? What happened? You press against Father. Your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is it true, Angelo? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? You dare insult the son of a shepherd. Admit your guilt. Tell him the truth. Deny your guilt. Let me think. You tell Father that you repaid the impudent boy in kind. Well, we don't have any determination, so I think we should get some. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove the stupid boy. He was the one that shoved you. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. The blood splatter is back. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough. He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Okay. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed, with the servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after you find a box on your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Orders inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. Okay, what a world we live in. Alright, 11:24, summer, the family dinner. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stephen, now in adolescence, and walking in the garden, and now a dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. Stephen mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He's a little boy, what has he accomplished? He rises from the table together with Father to show him his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks of the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stephen listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of your family together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. He reads it out in dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off. Father's face until only a stone cold... Let me try that again. He reads in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anizote. He is the head of our family, my father. Ominous. Your grandfather, Gregor Brante, returned to the family home from the capital. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stephen stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day, grandfather arrives. It is a grim day. So hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, mother, Stephen, Gloria, you, and Nathan, the entire Bronte family, stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Bronte family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cuts us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Harsh words there, Papa. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes you with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I have been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, and all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stephen with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stephen for the journey. Stephen freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with content. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on the blanket, in Nathan's crib, in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What an asshole. What is this, Robert? The soldier's in your younger son's room. He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Interesting noise there. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from your first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. Wow. So I can watch them melt helplessly. Rescue the Tin Warriors. Burst into tears. Or strike Grandpa. Striking Grandpa will give me a death. So, let's avoid that option. As funny as that is. I think this is clearly the best choice. Grandfather is right. These toys are nothing but a distraction from your studies. Watch them melt helplessly. Look at this burnt pages. The wood crackles, the tin melts. The unpleasant smell of burning paint fills the room. Father grimly orders the servants to douse the fire and clean the mess. That was your birthday present just a few moments ago. You watch the servants at work with a strange fascination, experiencing an odd feeling of freedom. It all seems right now. It's time for you to grow up. Grandfather leaves to examine the other rooms of the house. Well, that sucks. Alright, and with that, I think I will conclude the second episode. And I'm going to go get a drink because my throat is a little hoarse after all that reading. So, once again, I'd like to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I love you. Not really.